Are you confused about the Roth TSP and the rules surrounding when the penalties might apply? Well, if that's true, join me today for today's FERS Federal Fact Check. I'm Tammy Flanagan, and today we're going to hear a question from Tat. So let me share that question with you on the screen, then we'll talk about the different ways to think about how to answer it. So Tat wants to know, hi, I have a question regarding Roth TSP, which I have not gotten a clear answer on. I will be 54 years old this year, and I plan on retiring at age 62, 8 years from now. I started contributing to a traditional TSP when I started my federal government career. I now want to start a Roth TSP account. However, I have heard that an employee has to contribute to a Roth for 10 years before withdrawal. Otherwise, there might be a penalty that applies. Is this true? Thank you for your consideration. All right, Tat, so I think you got some half-truths. So let's go back and talk about this in more detail. So first of all, let's just kind of talk about what is the Roth in terms of the TSP. So back in 2009 was the first time Congress allowed the TSP to offer a Roth option. So it's been around now for almost 10 years. It actually didn't come into being, I think it wasn't until 2012. In the Roth TSP, your money goes in after tax. So you pay the tax on the money when you contribute to the TSP, but the earnings on the account are growing on a tax-free basis. So that's the real beauty of it. The matching contributions for FERS employees are still going to go into the traditional pre-tax account. So your contributions are going after tax. The agency money is pre-tax. The same elective deferral limit applies to both your traditional and your Roth contributions, which means for this year, you can contribute a maximum of $19,500 to both the traditional as well as Roth TSP, and you can split that up however you want it. In addition, if you're age 50 or older, you can do another $6,500 in Roth contributions or traditional, either way, but those are the catch-up contributions. Now, in order to take a tax-free distribution from your Roth TSP, you have to meet two conditions. The first one is that 5 years have to pass since January 1st of the first year you made your first Roth contributions. So not 10 years, it's only 5 years. But also, and you have to be 59 and a half years old or older, or disabled, or for someone who passed away, then that whole thing is away. So death, disability, or over 59 and a half. So those two conditions have to be met. Now the Roth contributions are already been taxed. So those are going to always come out tax-free. The money you put in, tax-free coming out no matter when you take it out. It's the earnings that have to be qualified. The earnings are what we call tax qualified. You can transfer or roll over to a Roth IRA from your Roth TSP. So if you want to move the money from the Roth TSP account, segregate that out into your own IRA account, the TSP will let you do that and leave your traditional money in the thrift if you like. That 5-year rule, however, does not carry over. So now once you have your money in the Roth IRA, it's a 5-year rule since you contributed to any Roth IRA. So if you already have a Roth IRA established, then that might already have been met because the TSP has a separate 5-year requirement. Distributions from Roth IRAs are paid out first from your contributions and then the earnings. So the initial money you take out is the money you put in after tax. Now, you may have also heard about a 10% early withdrawal penalty tax for people who take money out of IRAs, TSPs, other retirement savings accounts before age 59 and a half. That penalty does not apply to any of your contributions because, again, you've already paid tax on those contributions. It could apply to non-qualified distributions, however. That's the earnings that weren't in there for 5 years. So again, be careful, but remember what I said about being 59 and a half and having had 5 years since your first contribution, then you can take those distributions out tax-free, no problem. So you may want to save that Roth money as the last money you use to allow that to continue to benefit from the tax-free growth. In the meantime, you can use your pre-tax traditional contributions as the first money you spend in your years of retirement. Now, when you're making a withdrawal from the TSP, you can specify, do I want that money to come from the Roth, the traditional, or if I don't make a specification, it's going to come out pro rata. So in this example, you can see this person wants to take $10,000 from their $150,000 TSP balance. They've got their money split up 20% Roth, 80% traditional, or 30,000 of that 150 is in the Roth, the other 120,000 is in the traditional. So when they take that $10,000 distribution, if they don't specify that they want it all to come out of the traditional balance, 30% of it's going to, or 20% of it's going to come out of the Roth, or 2,000, and the other 80% of that 10,000 is going to come out of the traditional. So again, you have to specify that, and you can do that as you're making your withdrawal choice. So this might be something you need some assistance with from a financial planner or a tax professional. These rules can get complicated. Remember that you can specify from the TSP how you want to take that distribution. You cannot transfer Roth money to a traditional IRA. However, you can transfer traditional money to a Roth IRA. Just remember that's going to be a taxable distribution. So again, it's nice to have these two options within the TSP. It does complicate things a little bit tax-wise, but it does give you some additional choices. So hopefully that helps you, Tat, to understand about the penalty or lack of penalty, hopefully in your case, by the time you take that distribution. This is Tammy Flanagan for your FERS Federal Fact Check.